What? Chasing rock and roll, yes. So I was in this band, and there was like there's three other guys, and we had a guitar tech that would travel with us. And our guitar tech considered himself the moral compass of the band. He wasn't technically in the band, but he knew what we were supposed to be doing all the time. And the backstory of this whole thing is we went to Canada on tour. Our bass player was the one who did all the driving, and he's one of those guys that in any kind of situation you wanted him doing the talking, because he could get you out of whatever was going on. Like driving across the border, we have a van full of equipment, and the border's like, "So, what's your business in Canada?" He's like, "Going to visit friends." They're like, "All right." Okay. Chris was our drummer, and Chris decided to bring his college books with him on tour because he was going to study. That didn't happen at all. The only thing this bag of books did was it kept falling on us in the van, and we're just like, "Goddamn books!" So that was Chris. The singer was my buddy Morgan, and he had a whole punk rock background of like being in like Gangrene and Malhead and this whole Boston punk scene, and we were doing this other new stuff. And then we had Bob, who was our guitar tech, and you can attest to this. I have bad equipment nights sometimes. I break stuff on stage. Yeah. It happens. I can tell you I've only broken 3 guitars. Only one of them I think was intentional, but the other 2 still broke. And so this one night, it's the last night of our tour, and I was having bad equipment night because things were coming unplugged and it was just punk rock chaos. And I punched my guitar. It was an electric guitar, it wasn't an acoustic guitar, and I punched it right here. And so there's a big silver pickup that I dented with all 6 strings because I punched the guitar so hard. And in the process of that, I sliced my wrist open on the strings. And I'm playing guitar, and I'm like, wow, I'm really sweating. But there's just blood all over my, it's just disgusting, right? And so that's happening, and I go to my backup guitar, and I break strings on that. And Bob, bless his heart, okay, he's right here, and I'm like, "Give me another guitar!" And he's like, "You don't have any more guitars." And I was like, "Give me a fucking guitar!" And he went to one of the other bands and took one of their guitars, and I finished playing the set with somebody else's Stratocaster, and I bled all over it. And then I gave it back to them. I'm like, "Thanks." So all of that really happened on just this one tour. And the song had like 7 or 8 other verses, but just stories that you're like, yeah, I shouldn't tell that story out loud. But this is called Chasing Rock and Roll. And I wrote this, after I had 3 tours get canceled last year, and everything in the future just seemed like a big cloud. And so instead of looking forward, I started looking back at where I came from and realizing how formative all of this was on me, and just a tip of the hat to those 4 guys I traveled with. Driving across the Canadian border, 5 guys in a beat-up van. John does the talking, we cruise by Niagara, heading north just as fast as we can. Leaving the ghosts of the workday behind us, anything can happen on the road ahead. Chris brought books to study for college, add them to the list of things we never read. And I don't know where the road is gonna take us. So many bars, so many Saturday nights. Amazing we kept our shit together, chasing rock and roll for the rest of our lives. Chasing rock and roll for the rest of our lives. We hit Toronto in time for a sound check. Pimps and hookers by the front door. Acoustic rockin', we won them over. Everyone loved us and they wanted more. 1 week out and it turned into punk rock. Morgan and I end up with Marshall stacks. Broke all my strings, Bob handed me another, and I bled all over some guy's strat. And I don't know where the road is gonna take us. So many bars, so many Saturday nights. Amazing we kept our shit together. Chasing rock and roll for the rest of our lives. Chasing rock and roll for the rest of our lives. Combo, that hotel in London, a punk rock house, we all slept on the floor. Someone gave me a blue rodeo album. We lost together for 5 years more. And I don't know where the road is gonna take us. So many bars, so many Saturday nights. Amazing we kept our shit together. Chasing rock and roll for the rest of our lives. Chasing rock and roll for the rest of our lives. Driving across the California border, I played in Austin last Saturday night. Wherever I go, I take those 4 guys with me. Chasing rock and roll for the rest of my life. Chasing rock and roll for the rest of my life. Chasing rock and roll for the rest of my life. Thank you very much.